who's actually going to get the most out of a 77-inch 4K KD screen with 360 spatial sound mapping? If you're a movie night host who wants a cinema-level experience without the room-sized projector, or if you're a gamer looking for crisp HDR and immersive audio, this Sony BRAVIA XR A95L might be a match. On the flip side, if your living room is a cramped bedroom or you're a casual cord cutter who watches a handful of shows a week, you might be spending too much for a size and feature set that will sit idle most evenings. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's start with the hesitation most buyers feel when the price tag rolls in. A 77-inch TV with KD technology isn't cheap, and the promise of 360 spatial sound can sound like marketing fluff. The question becomes, will the sound actually fill a typical living space, or will you still need a soundbar? Will the picture truly look different from a good 4K LED, or is it just a premium label? Those are the two practical thresholds most shoppers set before they click Add to Cart. I spent the last week testing the set in a mid-size family room, a home office, and a small apartment set up to see if the hype lives up to everyday use. First, picture performance. KD combines quantum dot color accuracy with OLED's perfect blacks, and on paper that translates into brighter highlights without sacrificing deep shadows. In practice, that means my favorite HDR movies like Dune and The Batman showed vivid blues and reds that stayed consistent even after the TV warmed up for an hour. The standout moment was a midnight scene in a sci-fi film where the starfield stayed crystal clear while foreground objects retained true black. For gamers, the fast response time was noticeable. In a fast-paced shooter, ghosting was virtually non-existent, and the high peak brightness helped reduce glare from an overhead lamp. If you regularly play on a console that supports 4K 120Hz, the XR A95L will keep up, provided your source device can push that frame rate. Now let's talk about the sound. Sony's 360 spatial sound mapping claims to direct audio to fill the room, and the TV does an impressive job of spreading Dolby Atmos cues across the front-facing speakers. In a side-by-side comparison with a flat-panel TV that only has a built-in 2.0 system, the A95L's surround felt noticeably wider, especially for dialogue that seemed to hover just above the listener's ear level. However, the claim of room-optimized sound hinges on the TV's built-in microphones and a calibration routine that measures echo and reflection. In the larger family room, the calibration worked well, balancing bass and treble so that explosions didn't feel muffled. In the smaller apartment, the same calibration amplified low frequencies to the point where they rattled the light fixtures. Turning the bass down a notch solved the issue, but also reduced the immersive feel. So, if you have a spacious, acoustically neutral room, the built-in sound can replace a modest soundbar, but in tighter or highly reflective spaces you may still want an external speaker system. The smart side of the TV is essentially a Google TV platform, which means you get voice control, an expansive app library, and integration with any Chromecast-enabled device. I tested the remote's voice search while cooking, and the TV responded quickly to play a cooking channel and increase the volume. The Smart Connections label refers to multiple HDMI 2.1 ports, USB inputs, and Wi-Fi 6. I had 3 devices: Xbox Series X, a streaming stick, and a Blu-ray player plugged in simultaneously, and the TV handled the switching without a hiccup. The only hiccup was that the UI can feel a bit cluttered when you have many apps installed. You need to spend a few minutes organizing your favorites, otherwise you'll scroll past the content you actually want. Let's get into who should consider buying this and who should walk away. First, the enthusiasts, anyone who values top-tier picture accuracy, gaming performance, and a built-in audio experience that can substitute a soundbar. A family that watches a lot of movies, streams 4K HDR content, or runs a console at 120 Hz will extract the most value. The A95L also shines for creators who need a large, color-accurate reference display for video editing or content creation. It reproduces skin tones faithfully, and the wide color gamut covers the Rec. 2020 space. On the other hand, the casual viewer, if you're mostly watching network TV, YouTube, or 1080p streams, a more modest 65-inch LED or a lower-priced OLED will likely satisfy you. The size itself introduces a practical drawback. A 77-inch screen can dominate a small room, requiring you to sit at least 67 feet away for a comfortable viewing angle. If your couch can't accommodate that distance, you'll see the image at an uncomfortable size, and the immersive impact will diminish. Moreover, those who are sensitive to brightness fluctuations may notice the TV's peak brightness fading slightly after extended use, common with OLED panels, but more pronounced on a larger surface. Now, let's talk about hidden trade-offs. The biggest one is power.